Before we jump into today's upload, I'd like to wish everyone a happy Memorial Day. I'd also like to take a few seconds out of our day and just quietly remember all of those brave men and women who gave up their lives so we can enjoy the lives and the lifestyles that we have today. Thank you guys, and happy Memorial Day. Let's do this. Greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well today. Today I have a very terrifying upload to share with you. Some horrifying encounters and something very scary happens to me, and I catch it on video. Before we get into that, a couple links. As you know, I rely on Patreon, PayPal, and my merch to help the channel to continue to grow and go. Links to Patreon and PayPal are in the description below. The merch is displayed directly under the video. Also, Dogman, Frightening Encounters, Volume 1 through 3, the audiobook versions. They were written and researched by Tom Lyons, narrated and produced by me, Jeff Nadolny. Those audiobooks are available on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes, the links to which are also in the description as well. And finally, last but definitely not least, if you'd really like to help support this channel to continue to grow and go, simply subscribe. It doesn't cost a cent. Click that like button. It takes half a second. If you don't want to miss any of the informative and exciting uploads I put out, click that bell icon. And finally, please leave a comment. Why? Well, because all these things, they really do help this channel to continue to grow and go. And guys, they definitely matter. Now, everyone, I have taken far too much of your time. Let's get on with today's upload, shall we? So, first and foremost, a subscriber sent me a gift package, and it was from Angela from Louisiana. Dear Jeff, enjoy the gift. Wear or tack it on your office. Please take better care of yourself. Would love to have breakfast with you, Dark Waters, and Victor. Until then, be blessed, Angela. I have a hard time reading cursive. Very cool shirt. She's from Louisiana, and it is the Louisiana Yard Dog t-shirt. I like that a lot. That is very, very cool. Thank you, Angela. Truly appreciate that. I will put it with my other shirts that subscribers have sent me. So, I go up to where Tom Mezek disappeared. And I decide to, instead of taking the normal trail, I took a different one. I parked and I kind of looked over, and it looked like a wash at first. It pretty much is a wash, actually, off the mountain. Might not even be a trail. It might be. I'm not sure. You can see the ruts from how the water rips down the mountain during spring. Just got to move the mic real quick. Sorry, guys. So I go up, and it's very noisy. It is noisy. I'm very comfortable. I'm literally talking about how comfortable I am. Yada yada. I go, I find this great spot, sit down, I share one of the most horrifying encounters a child could go through. And that's in this video, you'll see. And then I decide to walk back out and take the main way that I normally take. And I look at the trees, where the trees are, where the 3 rocks are stacked that I had found. And I kind of show you where. My cat's walking in right now. Sorry about that. I show you guys where the 3 rocks are located. Just I point. And then I continue to walk. Now, about a year and a half ago, no, less, about 9 months ago, it was fall, and I go to the location once, and I get this really bad vibe. And I'm like, this is like the perfect kill zone. For those of you that seen it, you'll absolutely remember it. It's a gloomy day. I'm down in the bottom of this perfect kill zone. Like literally, it goes down. So you're kind of trapped on 3 sides, but forced to go up. And then on the 4th side, it's straight down. I'm walking towards that section, and literally, I want you guys to look for this in the video because it was horrifying. I'm not gonna say I wasn't scared. All right. I don't care what anyone says about me. You weren't there. So I'm walking, I'm talking, I look up. For some reason, I looked up to the side and I realized that it had gotten quiet. And I started to say how there's a weird feeling. At the beginning of that second trail, I'm like, oh, this is all right. Yeah, nice. And then I go past where the trees are bent and I look up and I say something about the mosquitoes. This will be at the end of the video where I'm at, right? I say the mosquitoes, F the mosquitoes, they're bad. And I point straight to where the kill zone area is. I'm walking up on it and I see something brown run across the trail. I'm pretty far back. I did look, you can barely see it on the video. And I don't say a word about it. I don't know why. I just said, I'm going to find a tree and do my natures and head out. And I turn around. You can see when I turn around, it's like 20 seconds before that. And I head out. I turn the camera off. And because I'm literally in my head freaking out. I don't know what it was. I'm not going to say it was a Dogman. I'm not going to say it was a Bigfoot. I'm not going to say it could have been a deer. All I know is that at that exact location where the kill zone is, I saw something run that way. I kind of wish I had kept the camera on because about 1/8 of a mile from where I parked my car, I hear this weird noise. It sounded like, the only way I can describe it would be like a dog getting torn apart. A small dog, not a big dog. It was just this weird sound. By then, of course, I'm locked and loaded, ready to go. And I get to my car. I unlock it, I throw everything in the car, and I jet. I get home, and I'm still frazzled by it for the last, it took me a good couple of hours to calm down. Anyway, here's that trek. After the trek, after that video, I'm going to share a subscriber encounter with you all. Also, really quick, there is an update on the family in Michigan. That'll either be tonight or tomorrow. New video. It's pretty weird, actually. But anyway, check this out. It was crazy. And I'm not going to say that I was scared. Okay, you can tell if you listen to my voice when I turn around. You can see the exact time that I turn around and start heading back the way I came. I don't believe it was a deer because I've never seen deer in that location. I know there are deer, but it didn't run like a deer. It didn't run quadruped. It was definitely a bipedal something. Anyway, here's that video. All right, guys, I decided to take a new trail today. One that I have never taken out here. I'll quick do a little roundabout so you guys can see exactly where I am. Mosquitoes are out. I put some bug spray on, but god darn, they're rough today. It's about 86 in the Adirondacks today. Beautiful day. Hang on one second and I'll do a schematic for you guys. All right, so as you can see, this is the trails, or the trail. That tag out there, I don't know if you guys can see it directly in front of me, is a marker for where Tom Mezek disappeared. Just kind of want to walk today. Beautiful day though. I mean, look at this trail. Okay, it goes straight up the mountain. We're deep in the Adirondacks. Going up. This is awesome. Hey, as you can see, the entrance to where I parked is just down there. My car's beyond that point right there. But I mean, right from the very beginning, it starts to get deep, you know? It's not too quiet today, which is cool. Every time I'm up here, I do have a creepy feeling though. This is, I'd say, about 1.5 miles from where that rock formation that I found is located. Thumbs up that way, it looks like. Happy Memorial Day, everyone. Hope everyone's staying safe today. Whew. Look, a hiking stick. Sweet. Wonder if that's a bad omen. Alright, so I don't know what you guys can see or not, but it is pretty awesome up here. Look at this trail. It's not even really a trail. It's just a way to walk. So I'm pretty convinced now that Mezek was taken from a portal up here. I don't know why I have that feeling, but I do. Looks like some kind of structure, some wood structure or whatever. Probably not. At least it's not silent.
What's up over here? So, where I normally go is about a quarter of a mile to the right that way. When I'm looking up on Lily Pond Trail and I show you guys the mountain, that's where I am right now. I'm above that part of the trail. I mean, that goes up, that's not flat. Here, flat goes up. Bugs are horrendous out today. And I literally have bug spray on. It's crazy. Wow, look at that. That's cool. Alright, I gotta find a tree to hide behind real quick and do the course of nature. But yeah, we're deep in. Alright, so I found a cool spot to do what I wanted to do. I didn't bring my EMF reader with me today. I just kind of wanted to get out and enjoy the beautiful day. But I brought a couple encounters with me to share. So I found a cool spot to set up. Like I said, it just keeps going. I mean, you guys saw how far I hiked up. I hiked up like a ways. Just keeps going. Absolutely beautiful. I think after I share an encounter, I might stroll back over to where I normally go. I don't know. It's pretty cool though. Anyway, I'll kind of do a pan and then the encounter. So, like I said, it just keeps going. So I'm gonna prop up right here and share an experience with y'all, and then we'll keep going for the day. See how far we go. I don't like turning my back that way though. I don't know why. Alright, here we go. Alright, here goes. I'm from a small town in Florida. It's the Gulf County, about 50 miles southwest of Tallahassee on the Panhandle. This area has a lot of lakes and rivers. We lived on several acres in the middle of nowhere. We had dirt roads my whole childhood. At the time, we had a single wide trailer. A lot of people in our community were complaining about this upright creature terrorizing them at night and stealing the livestock and pets. My parents were city folk that moved into the area before I was born and opened a business. So my parents told me that it was just stories to scare us because we were outsiders. At the time when this happened, I was 14 years old. I had a younger brother at the time that was 5. One night, October 2004, my dad and I were watching TV. My brother was in bed. My mom was in the kitchen. We had one bedroom, and I had to pass the kitchen to my brother's room to get to the bathroom. My brother was sitting up in his bed and crying. I tried to console him because I didn't want to get him in trouble for not sleeping. He was whispering to me that a man was looking through his window. I looked out the window, and to my horror, I saw a pair of yellow glowing eyes watching us. I grabbed my brother. I knew my dad was in the living room and he had a gun in the kitchen. I yelled to my dad that some sicko was looking in the window at my brother. Just then I saw its whole face. It looked like a Neanderthal with long brown hair, and it looked terrifying. Its face was at the bottom of the window. I saw its massive chest and abdomen. This thing must have been 9 feet tall. My dad burst out onto the front porch with his gun in hand and fired several times. It looked at my dad for a moment and then ran for the tree line. My dad then came in, and my mom and brother were crying because of the sound the .44 Magnum made. My parents told me to go to bed and take my brother with me. I overheard my parents talking that night. They didn't want to call the cops because they didn't know what it was. It wasn't human. My mother told my father, "Tomorrow, I want all of those trees gone, not a single one taller than you can stay." He reluctantly agreed. He called in every friend and every favor and had 7 acres removed by sundown on Saturday. I had 2 friends that were close to my age. One lived a mile away, the other was a couple of miles away. The closest came down that Saturday morning, and I asked him if he heard gunshots the night before. I told him that it was my dad. My mom came out and told me to stay out of the woods. She was going into town with my brother to buy curtains and blinds, which was something we really didn't need before. But because this happened, we put curtains up. After my mom pulled away, we got our friends, and I guess they basically pulled together their friends so we could go and take a look. We grabbed our guns and our machetes. We knew the woods very well. We backtracked my yard and picked up the trail. We spotted a bloodline in the trail. My dad was washing away blood from the side of the mobile home, and we went back into the woods following this blood trail. As we walked, we came across a crude shelter with remains of what looked like trash. This thing was stealing trash and taking it to this crude shelter. We followed the trails for hours. We then heard a howl and a scream like no other we had heard before. My dad must have heard it as well and grabbed his buddies and raced into the woods with their guns in tow. They looked terrified when we finally crossed paths with them. He said they saw the blood trail and asked what we found. We told them about the shelter, and we took them to it. Had been so keen on following the trail, we had never noticed the carcass of deer and dogs high in the trees. My dad chopped down the shelter and urinated on it. One of his friends said that they had to mark to take back to our land. It sounded crazy, but I looked up to this man and he seemed to know what he was talking about. The 6 of us made a pact that it was a bear, never to talk about it again. As we moved back to the house, we heard a howl and a growl again, and it sounded mad. It sounded closer this time. Our fathers told us to run. The 3 of them were side by side firing at something. Of course, we didn't go far. Whatever it was died that afternoon. My dad told me to get a few shovels and be quick about it. We didn't want anyone to see this thing. It was the only one. I was the only one they let approach it because I had already seen it through the windows. We took turns digging that hole. I don't know what this creature was, but it was 9 feet tall and very wide. I couldn't even jump over it. That's how wide it was. It was definitely a male. Its face was all shot up. Its upper lip was 5 inches from the base of its nose to the opening. Arms were as big as my dad's legs. Its fingers were almost as wide as Coke cans. Its feet were longer than the barrel of my shotgun. We buried it and left for the house. My mom was waiting for us, frantically asking what it was. We just said it was a bear and it was injured, so we put it down and buried it. We didn't want to get in any trouble with the game warden. That's what we told him. I think my mom knew the truth, but it was best not be said. Wow. So this thing was putting its prey. Did it just get quiet all of a sudden? This thing was putting its prey in the trees. Which is crazy. I don't hear any more birds either. Maybe I do. Yeah. Anyway, that's a pretty nuts encounter. And smart thinking not to not to say anything to the game warden. So anyway, I guess I'm going to take a walk back over to where I normally go and see what we can see. Alright, so we are on the normal trail in that location that I do believe is where Tom disappeared. There is noise today, so that is a good thing, right? Hopefully it stays. It's actually an absolute beautiful day today. Like I said, it's in the high 80s, low 90s, but just gorgeous. That other side of the mountain that I was at had a whole different feeling than this place. This place is cheery. That place was gloomy. It was just not right feeling. Incredibly creepy. But as you can tell, you hear the bird loudly singing. So I'll turn around the camera and all right, let's do this. All right, guys, so you be my eyes. All right, see, my noise isn't even disturbing this creature, the bird. So when these creatures come out of the woods or are in the woods and nearby, the presence of a bird or any kind of other animal, it really does set nature off, you know. Very strange. Anyway, I was over that way when I was initially here today, the first part of the video. Definitely beautiful though. And I feel a lot more cheery. It's strange how the energy is here today. Normally, I don't feel this good here, which is strange. Here is the area of where I believe, here's the trees. This is where I think that portal may be. As you can see, I'll come up on it and step back so you can see it. So you can see what I'm talking about. But the trees are going angular that way. Right up there is where I found those 3 stones stacked up. So that's a random occurrence. That's not done by man. I can honestly say it wasn't done by me. What the fuck was that? What the hell was that? That bird's still chirping, so it couldn't have been anything too major. Let me know if you guys see anything on that side of me. Probably just a squirrel. That whole thing just changed the mood right here. Whew. Anyway. My heart is pounding right now. But look at that. Look how awesome that looks. Amazing. I guess I'll walk up to where that one time I felt that kill zone happen. So some people asked what Victor was hunting in North Creek, and he told me it was a large Bigfoot, which my area is notorious for Bigfoot. I mean, notorious. And I know a lot of people's areas have had encounters or sightings of them, but my area in the Adirondacks is stockpiled with them. All right. I don't know what happened. My camera just shut off. I was literally talking for 10 minutes and realized that it had shut off. But look, flat. I'm flat. My camera's flat. Goes straight up. Like you can see the tree right here. It just goes right up. Truly beautiful. I think next walk I do in the woods, I think we'll go back to where I had my Dogman encounter, just to kind of go back there. All right, so we're coming up on that spot where I felt the kill zone kind of location. I came up this hill right here and kept coming through here. What time is it? It's almost 5 p.m. I'm gonna head out after this kill zone area. The area that I think would be a perfect like kill zone for these creatures to trap us. Fucking mosquitoes. Alright, so we're coming up to it. Alright, this would be it right here. So, but, alright, I'm gonna hit pause, find a tree, and take a minute. Alright, so we're coming up to it. So, horrifying encounter, right? I mean, I was like, wow, this is a perfect location to share that encounter because it was really a badass encounter. It was terrifying. But then that happened to me, and I was just like, I honestly didn't know what to do. And I'm not embarrassed because I didn't run, and I wouldn't look down on anyone if they ran from. I just turned around and walked casually out of there like nothing, like I didn't see it. Right as I said, we're coming up to it. You can see it. It goes, and it's so fast. I tried to zoom in at the end to show you guys. I can see it. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I can see it, and I saw it with my own eyes, and it was not cool. Will I be going back there? Yeah. I gotta mentally prep myself because I was not prepped for that. I honestly haven't anticipated seeing anything since going there. Really. When I found those 3 rocks, I was just like, oh, whoa, got a bad feeling.
But this was a whole different vibe. Anyway, let's get on to tonight's final encounter. All right, really quick. If anyone ever wants to share an experience and they don't want their name mentioned, they really don't have to tell me. Those of you who have been with the channel know this. There are two things that I pride myself on: my word and anonymity for anyone who shares their encounter. I would never share someone's name without direct permission. If I don't have the permission and they just send the experience and they don't tell me, I usually just go with the first initial of their name. Just stating this because I know husband and wife here have been with me for a while now, and they felt it necessary to, or she felt it necessary to mention it because the ridicule is real. Even if they heard this, even if they heard me say that before, the ridicule is real. Jeff, I hope you're having a good night. It has taken me a while to contact you because we weren't sure we wanted our names out there. You know, it gets pretty crazy when you believe in werewolves, Dogman, and Sasquatch. T doesn't want his name out there. He is pretty well known for his combat vet attitude. For now, I will tell you what we experienced in the last 5 years when I arrived here from Rhode Island. I will start with my husband. He is a Gulf War combat vet, and he has seen what only God and Satan should see. When I told him how Dogman and werewolves are real, he was confrontational towards the idea of such beasts being a reality. After all, he's seen bodies blown apart, gunshot wounds, knife combat kills, vapor blasts, leaving almost nothing. He's seen men, women, children, anything breathing become deceased in front of his eyes, sadly, sometimes by his own hand. Sorry to be graphic, but that is what war is about. The Dogman and werewolf in the area picked up on his warrior spirit. When I first walked the property that he owns, I felt drawn to a corner of high grass in the fields that looked like 3 to 4 swirled areas, like flat, like a dog walked around in a circle before they lied down. I was more into learning about Sasquatch at the time, so I was leaning toward Sasquatch, and we both agreed that it was a weird bedding area for a deer. Deer are not that heavy, and they don't swirl their grass down to bed. The question was, do Sasquatch? We left that alone for the time being. Little did we know it was just the beginning of our learning process. There were Dogman stories that I had listened to, some in the area not far from the place here in the Adirondacks. What had been described in these encounters began to play out on our farm. My husband is a cattle farmer at heart. He felt it was time to get a few animals again because he missed it. We would start to notice that a goat we got, instead of doing goat things, would run to us as if telling us something. Soon the cows were bunching up in the corner and becoming restless. They would hide in the shelter and not want to eat the best hay that existed. What was going on? I wanted to send this part because I said I would, and I haven't. I have footprints in the snow that appeared mixed with dog prints on my phone. Going to look for them and see if I can send them. I find it hard to look at them because there are no answers, but there was a werewolf outside of my home looking in where I sit. First it looked on the front porch, and then walked around the house and went to the back porch where I sit. Then there were no prints leaving the house. We've heard walking on a roof before, and that was unnerving. It appears they are still checking on my husband. It hurts because my cat was taken last January, right before the prints were found. That night I heard a noise and had a chill run down my spine. I felt if I had walked down onto the porch to save her, I would be sorry. It was horrible. The main experience I want to share with you happened in the fall of 2019. The pictures appeared in January of 2023. When we get them, I'll share them with you guys. First thing first, we call this the Woof Woof Encounter, fall of 2019. My husband was called out by something when he was first told by about a Dogman existence, like I previously explained. He said that he had seen everything being a combat vet and never saw a cryptid because they don't exist. If he did, he would take care of it, he proceeded to say. He wouldn't let anything on his property, and the Dogman would find out if he tried. We were doing yard work and had dealt with various strange things that previous year, but nothing like this. I was picking apples, and my husband, T, had just gotten through putting the lawnmower away. Suddenly, we hear echoing through the yard, woof, woof. It had a deep bass, but almost human sounding. It was like a mocking woof, woof said over and over. There would be a pause and then another woof, woof. It was coming from the middle of our main field where we dumped our sick animals that had died. We knew for sure when a piece of metal roofing out in that area that was on a small trailer started to get jumped on. It was going bang, bang. Then, woof, woof. We met at the back porch and I said, "What is that? Your friends wouldn't be doing that. They know you'd get your gun." My husband said, "You're right. WTF. Again, the metal was hit or jumped on. Bang, bang, woof, woof. This echoed from the farm dumping area on the other side of the heavy tree line between our backyard and the backfield dump area. Our healer pup looked around nervously. He never left T's side, but this time he wanted to go in. T ran in and grabbed his gun. It's a big, heavy, powerful gun, he said. Crap, I only have buckshot in here. As he ran towards the bang bang and continued woof woof. It was taunting, but by what we didn't know. We heard some yips from coyote, and as I heard some dog or coyote footfall on the leaves heading towards where my husband was running. I couldn't believe what was going on, or what I was hearing. It was a tiny, loud vocal, not human, but not dog. It also was getting back up. Someone or something was trying to make us think a big dog was out back. It had to be loud, definitely taunting my husband. I couldn't believe this, and I lived it. Just yesterday, I took a walk where this all played out. Jeff, it's far away, and I've heard everything like I was 100 feet away. Literally, it took me 15 minutes to walk to the area. What held me back from sending this to you, I realized, was something I needed to share. Next, after my husband run towards the continued taunting, bang, then you hear woof, woof. My husband comes hauling ass and had to hit it. Did you kill the coyote? Eagerly asked. No, let's get inside. We went in and locked the door. He explained he shot whatever it was on the other side of the brush, and through the smoke he heard woof woof in his face. They were surrounding me and setting me up. I know what that feels like beyond a doubt, and I just got out of there. We were in shock. Now it's been 3 years, and it's still unreal how it happened. I will send you the footprint pictures from the past January, and I think it may have been this creature. So, where T and J live, there's a little bit more in here. What happened before played out over the fall and winter 2018-19. We had 3 witnesses to the strangeness happening, especially when the animals jumped on the trailer to get away. They crowded one another to get onto the trailer. The farmers saw this and said, "Yeah, we see what you're talking about. Something isn't right here." The cows were jumping up of the pasture area and then jumping back in because they were afraid. We had a lithium swamp skunk cabbage smell and a burning smell during the snowstorm that made us think our house was burning. Our big dog ran in the house and hid while my husband fixed a fence from these crazy creatures. That dog never left T's side outside. That was the fall and winter of 2018. There is more, and I will write it down for you sometime. We had ducks and turkeys that died in strange ways. They would be in shock, and I had to hold one who had blood on her and looked terrified. From what I hear, this is what farming is all about. Really? I hope not. I know where these folks lived. Like I said, they're in the live stream, and I know the town they live in. It's just literally north of me, directly south of Hogansburg, the Akwesasne Reservation, where my family some of my family live. Crazy enough, I had a lumberjack. I'm not going to share the town they live in, but I had a lumberjack reach out to me when I first started the channel from Malone, New York, which is up around that area. And if you guys hear this, J and T, you'll know right where Malone is, because it's almost right in your backyard. He had multiple Dogman encounters when he was a kid, rollerblading to a friend's house. He lived out in the sticks. They're out there. You know what's crazy, guys, is I forget what year it was. I want to say early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. They tried to reintroduce wolves to the area, right? Massive amounts of them. Deer populations were exploding. Hare population. The balance was out of whack up here. Well, when they did, they were only around for a couple of years. Either they got killed off or run off. What runs off packs of wolves? That's weird, right? Especially in a place abundant with food sources. Crazy. Anyway, guys, I really hope that you all enjoyed today's upload. I hope that you guys saw what I saw in the video. I can see it clear as day. Probably because it happened to me. But like I said, I'm not too proud to admit that I was terrified. You literally, at the end of the video, I just turn around nonchalantly. I contemplated booking. I really did. I contemplated just turning around and running. I was nervous that if I kept the camera on and put it behind me, that it would see the screen. I wish I had, but I also have to remember that I have 2 daughters that I have to get home to. So anyway, guys, thank you for all the support. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me. With that, everyone, please stay safe, happy, and healthy. Happy Memorial Day. And God bless you all.